talking with me right now?
Good question. Good question. I probably should. No,
So you want me to figure out what's wrong with you
no, I don't.
without you telling me?
What I want you to do is we'll agree to just leave it alone.
Welcome back to my channel, y'all, for a new episode of Ready to Love. And let's get right into it.
I wanted to talk to you.
Okay.
I was told that there were some things that were said that I found a little disturbing. I was a little surprised by.
Okay.
And I was
Blake is still mad. He was almost eliminated, and he's still mad about the things that was said, especially what Jeffry said. So he's not letting go, and he decided to go ahead and take Jeffry to have a talk. Let's see how that goes.
hurt by it.
Hurt?
And I wanted to present that to you.
Okay, explain on what was said to you.
I don't want to get into the feedback.
Okay, Blake, come on, guy. You took her aside from where she was at with Mark Anthony chilling on his lap to tell her your grievance, but you don't want to explain to her what was said that bothered you?
Well, so how am I going to answer your questions?
I'm just sitting here and letting you know that I just felt a type of way about something that may have been said.
And what was that?
Do you know what was said?
I need to know exactly what you're referencing.
He doesn't want to bring back what was said. I don't understand why, because they already were in camera when Sue-Ann told him about what was said. I don't really understand why he doesn't want to reiterate it. You need to at least tell her what bothered you specifically about what she said so that she can give you explanation. I think it's weird. I think it's kind of weird, y'all. What do y'all think?
So can you again tell me where you were hurt?
I would prefer not to get into.
So you're hurt and you're disturbed, but yet you can't bring up the things that you're hurt.
Being that I wasn't there,
Come
I
on,
was not there.
Blake.
Okay.
You need to be cooperative. Like, what?
Some things that I've heard.
Okay, are you ready to reveal that or no? What are you hearing?
You were not there, but you said you were hurt. So that means you believe what was said when you were not there. So at least you could have brought up Sue-Ann if you needed somebody to talk for you at that moment.
Why are you talking with me right now?
Good question. Good question. I probably should. No,
So you want me to figure out what's wrong with you
no, I don't.
without you telling me?
What I want you to do
Good
is
question.
we'll agree to just leave it alone.
Okay.
When you
Yeah.
grab someone, do you grab that person and say, hey, I want to talk to you, to then sit them down and say, now, why do you think I'm mad with you? Blake,
Listen, y'all, I think that Blake was trying to play mind game with Jeffrey. He thought that because he took her aside and he told her that he was hurt, that she was basically going to take charge of the conversation, try to defend herself, and basically he would basically pick up some of the stuff that she said and basically use that and say, oh yeah, that's what you said that made me hurt. I don't think he expected Jeffrey to be highly intelligent. Jeffrey is very good communicator, right? We can see that she was annoyed because obviously she doesn't like him like that. But I really think that the least he could have done was to explain what she specifically said that made him mad and why that made him mad. And if she feels like he deserves an apology, give him an apology. And if she doesn't agree with him, just say she doesn't agree with him. I just do not understand what was his goal, but whatever it was, it did not work. That's just me. Let's fast forward to the scene where she got there and decided to talk to Demario and Sue-Ann.
I was just a little confused, and I'm hoping that Sue-Ann and Demario could help me understand him.
How are you guys doing?
Yeah, so what happened?
Blake came and grabbed me and said that he wanted to talk because he felt hurt
Yeah.
based off of some feedback that he received from the lounge. And I wanted to know what those things were so that I can address the things, but he wouldn't tell me where he was hurt. I think it just comes down more to you're caught in what?
Caught.
I agree with Jeffrey. He got caught in whatever he was trying to do.
Have an issue of you feeling like I'm your one.
Right.
Where I draw the line is where you're telling me you're going to be not authentic with these women.
Are you sure that you interpreted what he said correctly? Because when I told him the feedback from the lounge, he said he never said that he chose you.
right before she came to them, but Blake did tell her right away that no, he didn't make a decision. Jeffrey is not telling the truth. So at this moment, I felt like Suan's question was a good question.
Blake was a wild card going back from the beginning of the night of the mixer. He's arguing with women, but immediately I see a cape flying from the side, and here comes Sue as an advocate flying in for Blake. I mean, I'm looking for the wind and everything. She just needs her cape.
So you seem to have more of an explanation than Blake. So for me,
I don't have the explanation.
Okay.
I'm just explaining to you because I gave him the feedback from the lounge.
So for Blake,
which
but honestly,
specifically was, you said Blake advised me that I was his woman.
Yeah, he wasn't
And
interested
so
in any
I asked
of
him
the ladies
that,
here.
and he was like, I've never said that. She's never even been on my list in any lounge.
What Jeffrey is saying about Blake doesn't affect my connection with him. I think some of us are definitely on this journey ready to love, and I feel like Jeffrey is ready to lie.
You can't get the words.
Okay, so far, even though I do feel, and I said it on the previous season, on the previous episode, I do feel that Suan is giving pick me vibe. So far in the discussion that she had in the boat with Jeffrey, I understood where she was coming from in asking a question. But what she said in the confessional basically confirmed that she already decided that she's going to be for Blake. She chose that she's going to believe Blake over Jeffrey. And she even said herself that whatever happened does not affect her connection with Blake. Which I understand why she feels like that, but I just don't understand why she is so adamant. You don't know the man like that. Like Jeffrey could be telling the truth, right? And based on what we're seeing as the audience, I would believe Jeffrey more than Blake because Jeffrey is at least willing to have a conversation and be clear when Blake is trying to play games and is not trying to like express himself effectively. I'm just saying.
Now that you're,
This is
hold
the
on
thing
one second,
for me.
Suan. You couldn't
What
get
I
the
would
words
like
out
to
of your
know,
mouth, even
specifically
to say why
because
you
of the
called me.
lounge.
You know, like, hey, oh, I'm listening. I know.
Literally going back and forth, and I felt that's so unfortunate because she should have let Jeffrey express herself because Jeffrey came to them and now she's not even letting her speak, and Jeffrey is not able to explain what transpired a couple minutes before with Blake.
But I wanted to finish what I was saying.
Okay,
You know,
I want to
like,
help.
The
you
Mario is the
specifically.
best.
I don't need any help though.
He's
Like, the
letting them
reason
talk.
for me,
And that's fine. My question to you more has to do with your communication
Suan, girl, how do you want to help her?
style. It didn't have to do with
But I
what
don't
you were
really need
saying.
to break that down for you. I'm not dating you. I told
You're
Blake
not dating
specifically
me.
out there.
You're not dating me, and I don't want to date you.
You know, at our ages, I can't read your mind. Blake is too old to be playing these games. I'm not interested in being controlled. I don't want a narcissist. I don't want a controlling man that's telling me, who did you go on a date with? Who is your top? I'm still going to talk to Demario. I'm still going to talk to Blue. I'm still going to talk to Mark Anthony, whoever that I feel, until I feel like my husband is right there in front of me.
Blake is
Suan, I think that you are jumping the gun for somebody that you barely know, right? I'm just saying, Swan give me pick me vibe. I will admit that I felt that Jeffrey was a little bit tense. I felt that they could have a discussion without all that tension. Let me all know what you think. So at the end of the show, the three-person that the guys have to choose who they want to eliminate are between Jeffrey, Corvaya, and Marcia. I think that the two in the bottom really are Corvaya and Marcia, but they added Jeffrey, for the little shock effect. A part of me thinks that they may not eliminate anybody just because of the way that DeMario or DeMarco was so adamant about keeping Corvaya. Personally, I think that Corvaya should be eliminated just because that there's nobody to her standard there. Corvaya wants a man with money that's willing to spend on her. And I don't think that those men are on the same vibe that she's in. What did you think about this episode? It was a good episode, but those are the scenes that stood out to me. And I told y'all, unless y'all want me to do a full review, I'm just going to focus on the part that had the most action. On this note, for those of you that are new, hey, welcome, and I invite you to, and for those of you that have been here with me supporting me, thank you all so much for your support, and I will see you all next week. Bye.